I was 12 when I first felt the weight of the world settle on my shoulders like a too-tight jersey, the kind that chafes no matter how you adjust it. Granddad Big Earl, everyone called him, had just tossed me the ball in our cracked driveway court, the one he'd poured with his own calloused hands back when Eisenhower was president. "Come on, Jax," he'd rumble, his voice like gravel under truck tires. "Show me that crossover. Ain't no defender gonna let you breathe if you don't fake 'em out first." Grandma Pearl would watch from the kitchen window, her apron dusted with flour from the cornbread she baked every Sunday, nodding like she was courtside at the Garden. They raised me in that sagging shotgun house in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, after Mom split for the lights of Chicago when I was 6. Dad? He was a ghost story. Some jazz musician who blew town before I could say dribble. But Earl and Pearl? They were my anchors, my hype men, my everything. Basketball wasn't just a game to us. It was salvation. Granddad had played semi-pro back in the 50s, dodging racism on the court like it was just another fast break. He'd tell stories over fried okra dinners about barnstorming teams, how the crowd's roar drowned out the slurs from the stands. "Game don't care about your skin, boy," he'd say, clapping a hand on my knee that felt like a promise. "Or anything else. It just asks you to show up." Grandma, with her Bible verses and unshakable faith, would chime in. "And when you do, Jax, you glorify the gifts God gave you." They saw me, the real me, before I even knew what that meant. When I was 14 and caught myself staring too long at the way Marcus from the rec league moved, all fluid grace under the lights, I didn't know what to call it. But Granddad noticed my distraction during drills. "Eyes on the prize, son," he said, not unkindly. Then softer, "Whoever that prize is, long as they make you better, that's what counts." I froze, ball slipping from my fingers. He just picked it up and passed it back. No sermons, no judgment, just the game. Those years blurred into a rhythm of sprints and scriptures, layups and laughter. I'd wake to the scent of chicory coffee, Granddad already shooting fades at dawn. School was a drag. Kids calling me country bumpkin for my faded Jordans and the way I quoted Pearl Jam lyrics in English class. But the court was my kingdom. By 16, I was all-conference point guard, scouts whispering about D1 dreams. Grandma clipped every article, taping them to the fridge next to her recipe cards. "Our boy's gonna shine," she'd say, eyes misty. They supported my game, all right, fought tooth and nail for it. When the school tried to cut funding for the team, Granddad rallied the neighborhood, turning our driveway into a petition hub. Pearl baked pies for the boosters. We won that battle, and I swore I'd make it worth every gray hair they'd earned. But life in Baton Rouge was a slow burn, predictable as the Mississippi's lazy curve. That changed the summer I turned 17 when the call came. Mom, Lila, all sharp edges and city polish, had clawed her way up in Chicago, some mid-level exec at a marketing firm, trading southern drawls for skyscrapers. We'd exchanged cards at Christmas, awkward voicemails on birthdays, but nothing more. Until Granddad's heart gave out mid-layup in the park. He collapsed right there, ball rolling into the grass like it was giving up too. I found him, knees buckling beside his still form, the sirens wailing like a bad omen. Grandma followed 2 months later, pneumonia, they said, but I knew it was a broken heart. The funeral was a blur of casseroles and condolences. The church pews packed with folks who'd bet on Earl's stories like they were gospel. That's when Mom showed up, heels clicking on the linoleum like accusations. "Jax, honey," she said, hugging me stiffly, her perfume cloying as regret. "It's time you came home. To me. Chicago's got opportunities Baton Rouge could never dream of." I wanted to scream. No. This was home. These walls echoing with crossovers and cornbread wisdom. But the house felt hollow without their voices. The driveway court a graveyard. Lawyers said the same. At 17, with no kin left, custody defaulted to her. So I packed my duffel. Sneakers, a photo of the three of us at my first game, Granddad's old Spalding scarred from 1,000 shots, and boarded the Greyhound north. The miles unspooled like a fast break gone wrong, each bump jolting me further from the boy I'd been. Chicago hit like a screen set too high, wind whipping off Lake Michigan, horns blaring, faces from every corner of the globe blurring past. Mom's apartment was a sleek box in Wicker Park, all chrome and glass, not a speck of dust or soul. "You'll love it here," she promised, handing me a keycard like it was a consolation prize. New school, new team. Lincoln High's got a powerhouse program. State champs last year. I nodded, throat tight, staring at the skyline that swallowed stars. She worked late most nights, her laughter tinny over phone calls to colleagues, so I navigated alone. Subways that smelled of rain and regret, hallways where kids eyed my drawl like it was exotic. And the team? They were wolves in Letterman jackets, led by Jamal Hayes, senior captain with a fade sharper than his jump shot and eyes that stripped you bare. Tryouts were my first trial by fire. Coach Ramirez, a wiry ex-Marine with a whistle like a guillotine, barked drills that made my legs scream for Louisiana clay. I held my own, crossover dripping honey, vision slicing defenses like butter. But Jamal clocked me from jump. "Where you from, Rook? Sound like you escaped a bayou," he sneered during water breaks, his crew chuckling. I bit back. Baton Rouge, where men play for keeps, not cameras. It earned a nod from Coach, but Jamal's glare lingered, promising payback. Off the court, I kept my head down, journaling in a notebook Grandma gave me. Pages filled with sketches of plays and half-formed poems about the ache in my chest, the one that whispered of boys' hands brushing in the huddle. That's when I met Theo. He was the equipment manager, a quiet junior with olive skin and curls that fell like summer rain, always fiddling with laces or stats sheets in the shadows. We'd cross paths in the locker room, him handing out tape, me mumbling thanks. One night, after a brutal scrimmage, I lingered, toweling sweat from my neck. "You ever play?" I asked, nodding at his sneakers, scuffed Nikes that screamed hidden talent. He blushed, ducking his head. "Nah, just like being close to it, to the energy." Our eyes met, and something electric hummed, like the buzz before tip-off. We talked about his immigrant parents from Colombia, the pressure to be the good son, my lost grandparents who taught me to dream big. By week's end, we were sneaking coffees at a corner diner, his laugh pulling me from the fog of homesickness. But Chicago wasn't Baton Rouge. Whispers started about the country kid who stared too long in the showers, who flinched at casual slaps on the back. Jamal caught wind, his taunts sharpening. "Better watch your back, Jax. City's got rules." Mom noticed my silences over takeout Thai, probing gently. "Making friends? That team's your ticket out, baby." I wanted to tell her everything, the loneliness carving me hollow, the way Theo's smile lit hidden corners, but her world was spreadsheets and success, not secrets. So I swallowed it, lacing up tighter each day, the game my only confessional. As fall leaves turned gold, the season ramped up. First game, a rout against some Southside scrubs, my 10 assists drawing cheers. Theo was there, in the stands with a sign, "Jax the Flash, Baton Rouge to the Bigs." My heart stuttered. After, in the empty gym, he waited by the bleachers. "You were magic," he said, voice soft. Our fingers brushed, accidental, electric, and neither pulled away. That night, under sodium lights, we shared our first kiss, tentative as a rookie free throw, tasting of Gatorade and possibility. For a moment, the world righted itself. But as the whistle blew for the next practice, I couldn't shake the feeling that the clock was ticking down, and my shot was about to rim out. The rhythm of the city started to seep into my bones, a relentless pulse that drowned out the cicadas I still heard in dreams. Practices blurred into a frenzy, Coach Ramirez diagramming plays on greaseboards that looked like war maps, Jamal barking orders like he owned the air. I carved my niche as the floor general, threading needles through double teams, my southern spin moves leaving defenders grasping ghosts. The team gelled around me, grudging respect from most, but Jamal? He was a storm cloud, always probing weaknesses. "You pass like a girl, Jax," he'd mutter during suicides, close enough for his breath to hot my ear. I'd fire back with a steel that left him eating floor, but inside, it festered. Was it just hazing? Or had he seen the way my gaze lingered on Theo's profile during film sessions? Mom tried in her polished way. She dragged me to Navy Pier on weekends, forcing cotton candy and Ferris wheel rides. Her arm looped through mine like we were mending years in an afternoon. "I'm proud of you, Jax," she'd say, wind tousling her bob. Earl would be too. But her eyes skipped over the cracks. The way I'd flinch at her casual "who's the girl?" probes, or how I'd vanish into runs at midnight, pounding pavement to outpace the questions clawing my gut. She didn't know about the notebook, now thick with entries. Theo's laugh is a layup in slow motion, effortless, arcing toward the net of my heart. I wasn't ready to name it, not to her. Not yet. Theo became my harbor. We'd meet in Grant Park after school, sprawling on the grass amid joggers and tourists, sharing earbuds with his indie playlists. Hosier crooning about take-me-to-church desires that hit too close. My folks would freak, he confessed one dusk, tracing patterns in the dirt. They think school's for grades, not this. He gestured vaguely between us, cheeks flushing deeper than a timeout huddle. I squeezed his hand, the contact grounding as a rebound. "Mine would get it," I said, throat tight with ghosts. "Granddad said the game levels everything." We didn't push boundaries. No heated makeouts or wandering hands. Just stolen moments, foreheads touching, breaths sinking like a perfect pick and roll. It was enough to make the city's roar bearable, to turn the apartment's sterility into a temporary outpost. But tension coiled tighter on the court. Our record climbed 8-2 by mid-November, but cracks showed. Jamal's elbows sharpened in the paint, accidental hip checks during fast breaks. Coach chalked it up to edge, but I saw the venom in his post-whistle grins. Off-court, rumors slithered. A Snapchat story of me and Theo at the diner, captioned "New blood got a side hustle?" It vanished quick, but eyes followed me in the halls. Theo pulled back slightly, fear etching his easy smile. "Just be careful, Jax. This ain't Baton Rouge." I nodded, but recklessness brewed. During a home game against Evanston, I dropped a triple-double, the crowd's MVP, chants echoing Granddad's old tales. In the locker room, high on adrenaline, I slung an arm around Theo as he handed out towels. Bro-like, but lingering. Jamal's stare burned from across the benches. That night, the betrayal dropped like a brick from half-court. I got a text from an unknown. A grainy photo of our park moment, hands linked, with "Team's gonna love this" overlaid. Heart slamming, I confronted Jamal in the parking lot. Rain slicking the asphalt like tears. "You leak this." He leaned against his Civic, smirking through the downpour. "Nah, man. But secrets, they find their way out. Like you found yours." It wasn't him, his denial rang true, but the damage was sown. Practice next day was a minefield. Sidelong glances, forced laughs at jokes about my BFF. Coach pulled me aside. "Focus, son. Distractions lose championships." I wanted to spill it all, the fear, the fire for Theo, but the words jammed like a wet ball. Mom sensed the shift over Thanksgiving break, her attempt at a traditional meal. Turkey from Whole Foods, no soul food sides, turning tense. "What's eating you, Jax?" "The team's rough." I stared at my plate, fork spearing cranberry like it owed me answers. "It's complicated." She reached across, manicured nails tapping mine. "Talk to me. I'm your mother." The dam cracked then, words tumbling. The move, the loss, the loneliness. But not Theo, not the full truth. "I miss them, Mom. They got me. Here, it's like starting over every day." Tears welled in her eyes, rare as rain in the desert. "I know I wasn't there, but I'm trying now. Let me in." We hugged, her embrace warmer than the city chill, but doubt lingered. Could she handle the whole me? The plot thickened with the holiday tournament, Windy City Classic, scouts from Northwestern and DePaul in the stands. We drew a powerhouse from Milwaukee first round, their press suffocating as a winter gale. I orchestrated the offense, but Jamal's defense on me was personal. Shoving me into the stanchion after a steal, the impact jarring my ribs. Coach subbed him, yelling "head in the game," but the seed was planted. Halftime, down by 8, Theo slipped me a note in the tunnel. "You're unstoppable. For you, and us. It fueled the comeback. I hit a buzzer-beater 3, the net swishing like applause from heaven. Post-game, in the buzzing atrium, Jamal cornered me by the vending machines. "Nice shot, Fairy. But don't get cocky. Your luck's running dry." The slur landed like a flagrant foul, but worse was the audience. Half the team frozen. Fists clenched, I stepped close. "Say it again. See what happens." He backed off, chuckling, but the rift widened. Theo and I met that night at his empty house, parents at a late shift. We curled on the couch, some rom-com flickering ignored, his head on my shoulder. "I'm scared," he whispered, fingers interlacing mine. "What if they find out? What if it costs you everything?" I tilted his chin, our lips meeting soft, urgent, a promise against the storm. "Worth it?" I murmured, heart pounding, but as I slipped out into the snow-dusted streets, a shadow trailed. A car idling too long at the curb. Paranoia? Or the noose tightening? December deepened, the city blanketing in white, our undefeated streak a fragile crown. Mom surprised me with tickets to a Bulls game. Father-son vibes she awkwardly nailed, cheering as Levine soared. "This could be you," she beamed. I smiled, but inside, the weight pressed. The game demanded perfection, but my heart demanded truth. Theo texted late. "Miss you already. Dream of courts and kisses." I did, every night. Until the dream soured, Jamal's face morphing into the rim, mocking my every shot. The turning point loomed. Rivalry week against Whitney Young, the team that had crushed our dreams last year. Practices ramped to brutality, coach's clipboard cracking like thunder. I pushed harder, channeling Granddad's grit, but exhaustion gnawed. One evening, post-drill, Theo waited in the lot, breath fogging the air. "We need to talk." His voice trembled. "Jamal, he knows, cornered me today. Said if I don't back off, he'll make sure everyone does." Rage boiled, hot as Louisiana summers. "He threatens you? Over this?" Theo's eyes glistened. "It's not just him. The whole team's whispering. Jax, I can't lose you, but I can't lose me either." We clung there, the cold biting, decisions crystallizing like frost. Fight or fold. As sirens wailed distant, I chose. The court would be my confessional, win or lose. The air in the gym hung thick as gumbo fog, every dribble echoing like a countdown. Rivalry week hit Chicago like a nor'easter. Billboards hyping the matchup, local sports radio dissecting our weaknesses with the glee of vultures. Whitney Young was a machine. Towering forwards who ate rebounds for breakfast, a backcourt that pressed like vice grips. Coach Ramirez taped extra film sessions, his rasp turning prophetic. "This ain't just a game, boys. It's identity. Lose here, and the city's got no mercy." I absorbed it all, vision tunneling to plays and personnel. But beneath the X's and O's, my own war raged. Jamal's threat to Theo looped in my mind, a foul I couldn't call off. We'd barely spoken since that night in the lot. Texts sparse, meetings stolen glances in hallways. It gutted me, this half-life, but backing down meant betraying the kid Granddad raised. The one who stared down bullies and sank shots from logos. Mom upped her game too, sensing the storm. She cleared her calendar for game night, baking brownies that tasted like tentative bridges. "For luck," she said, wrapping them in foil stamped with team colors. Over dinner, her attempt at gumbo heavy on the roux, we talked hoops, her questions sharper now. "Jamal, that captain? He giving you trouble?" I hesitated, fork midway. "Just team stuff. Alpha dog crap." She eyed me, intuition flickering. "You can tell me, Jax. Whatever it is." The opening yawned, tempting, but fear clamped it shut. "Appreciate it, Mom. Really." She nodded, but the silence stretched, laced with unspoken histories. Her leaving, my resentment, the chasm we'd yet to cross. Theo and I reconvened in whispers, a strategy session of our own. We met at the lakeshore, waves lapping like hesitant confessions, bundled against the wind. "I told him to shove it," Theo said, defiance cracking his voice. "But Jax, what if he goes public?" I pulled him close, our breaths mingling clouds. Then we own it. Together. It sounded brave, but doubt wormed in. The scouts in the stands, my ticket to college, the fragile acceptance I'd clawed here. Granddad's words echoed, game levels everything. But did it level closets too? That night, alone in my room, I penned a letter in the notebook. To the team, to Mom, to the world. I'm gay. And I'm still the best damn point guard you'll see. I didn't send it. Not yet. But folding it shut felt like chambering around. Game day dawned brittle, sky a sheet of iron. The bus to Whitney's gym crawled through slush, teammates bantering to mask nerves, except Jamal, who shot me looks like daggers. Big night, Rook. Don't choke. I met his gaze, steady as a free throw line. Watch me shine. Pre-game warm-ups were electric. Their crowd a sea of green and gold, chants rattling the rafters. I sank jumper after jumper, the swish a mantra. Tip-off, and chaos erupted. Their press swarming like hornets. I threaded a bounce pass for an N1, igniting our bench. Halftime tied, sweat slick and savage. Coach's pep talk ablaze. Heart over height, boys. Fight for every inch. Second half, the tide turned foul. Jamal, guarding their star, picked up a cheap third. Elbow to the throat, the ref swallowing the whistle. Down by 5 with 6 minutes left. The air crackled. That's when it broke. A fast break, me driving, Jamal screening late. His shoulder slamming my chest, air whooshing out as I crumpled. The gym hushed, then exploded, fans jeering, teammates yelling. Coach called timeout, hauling me to the bench, ice packs blooming red under my jersey. Bruised ribs, maybe cracked, the trainer muttered. Pain lanced with every breath, but worse was the isolation. Jamal avoiding my eyes, the huddle fracturing. Theo, from his manager's spot, mouthed, "You got this." His worry a lifeline. I checked back in at the under 4, vision spotting, the clock a guillotine. We needed a miracle. Steal, improbable, Jamal's man stripping but me intercepting, outlet to our wing for 2. Then the dagger, isolation play, me against their 6'5" forward. Crossover feint, step back 3, pure, the arc poetry, net singing as the buzzer loomed. Crowd stunned, our side erupting. Final, 72-70, us. Locker room pandemonium, high fives, Gatorade showers. But Jamal pulled me aside in the steam, face twisted. Lucky shot. But your luck's up, Jax. I saw you with the manager kid. Whole team's buzzing. The words landed like a rejection under the basket. So what? I hissed, ribs throbbing. You gonna out me? For what? Jealousy. He leaned in, breath sour. For purity. Team's no place for your kind. Betrayal burned, hot and clarifying. This wasn't hazing. It was hate, masked as loyalty. Post-game glow faded fast. Mom waited in the lobby, hugging fierce despite my wince. My hero, she whispered, pride raw. Theo slipped me a water bottle, our fingers brushing. A spark in the din. But as we boarded the bus, Jamal's crew clustered, phones glowing with something. My gut dropped. Halfway home, it hit. A group chat ping, screenshot circulating. My park photo with Theo, timestamped, captioned Scouts Honor. Who's next? The bus went tomb silent, eyes darting. Coach's phone buzzed. He scanned, face hardening. Meeting. Tomorrow. All in. I stared out at passing lights, nausea rising. The secret was loose, a loose ball everyone scrambling for. That night, the apartment felt like a cage. Mom found me on the balcony, bundled against sleet, ribs taped tight. Jax? Talk. The dam burst then. No poetry, just facts. The move, the kisses, the closet cracking under pressure. I'm gay, Mom, and the team's turning on me because of it. She froze, then pulled me into her arms, rain mingling with tears. Oh, baby, I knew, suspected, but I should have asked sooner. Her voice cracked. Earl and Pearl, they loved you fierce. This changes nothing. Relief flooded, mingled with terror. It changes everything. The game. It's all I have. She cupped my face, fierce as Granddad's drills.
No.
You have you. And me now. Fight for it. Morning brought reckoning. School hallways buzzed like hives. Whispers, stares. A rainbow pin taped to my locker, anonymous and defiant. Team meeting in the AUX gym. Coach Ramirez front and center, Jamal shifting like a guilty dog. This stops now, Coach growled, holding up his phone with the pic. Basketball's about trust. Betrayal? That's a bench-clearing foul. Eyes on Jamal, who mumbled, "Wasn't me, coach. Just heard things." Lies hung heavy, but the room shifted. Nods from the freshman. A fist bump from our center, Nate. "We got your back, Jax. All of it." Not unanimous, Jamal's glare promised war, but a fracture in the ice. Theo and I seized the thaw, meeting at the diner, booths our bunker. "It's out," I said, half laughing through fear. He grinned, shaky. "Then let's live it." Our kiss there, public for the first time, drew stares but no stones. Emboldened, we walked hand in hand to the L, the city indifferent as ever. But Jamal's shadow loomed. Whispers of a team vote on my spot. Scouts pulling back. The season's crown jewel, city semis. Approached, pressure mounting like a full-court press. I trained through pain. Granddad Spalding my talisman. Mom's brownies fuel for the fire. For them, I'd mutter, sinking hundreds alone in the dawn gym. For Earl's stories, Pearl's faith, Theo's touch. Climax brewed in the shadows. Anonymous notes in my locker. "Quit while you're ahead," and slashed tires on Theo's bike. Fear crept, but resolve hardened. One eve, Jamal ambushed me post-practice, empty lot lit by flickering halogens. "You think this is over? You're poison, man. Ruining us." Fists flew then. Mine first, a hook that split his lip, his counter glancing my jaw. We grappled, grunts echoing, until Nate pulled us apart, siren lights flashing distant. "Enough!" Jamal spat blood, eyes wild. "You're done." But as cops took statements, something shifted in his defeated slump. A crack in the armor, perhaps regret. The fallout. Suspension for both. Coach's ultimatum. Sort your souls or sit the semis. Mom lawyered up. Fierce mama bear. Theo's parents, surprisingly, rallied. Family first. His dad grunted over empanadas. I visited Jamal's house, truce flag high, his mom letting me in with wary eyes. He sat on his bed, trophies mocking the mess. "Why?" I asked, ice pack to my bruise. He shrugged, voice small. "Dad's a preacher. Says, stuff like you is sin. Guess I bought it." Vulnerability hung, a loose thread. "My granddad was a deacon too," I said. "Taught me love wins games. And hearts. No instant bromance, but a nod. Don't tank us out there." Seeds of grace, fragile as a finger roll. Semis eve, the gym pulsed anticipation. Ribs ached, but spirit soared. Theo's good luck kiss in the shadows. Mom's shine, sun in the stands. Tip-off loomed, the roar a baptism. Whatever came, glory or gut punch, I was ready. The boy from Baton Rouge, raised on support, was competing now for keeps. The semi-spotlight burned brighter than a summer sun on blacktop. The United Center Annex packed with scouts, alumni, and dreamers clutching crumpled programs. Lincoln High versus King High. A clash of titans, underdogs nipping at heels. My suspension lifted just in time. Ribs wrapped like a mummy's secret, but the real bindings were emotional. Jamal's half-apology echoing. The team's tentative truce holding like wet paper. Coach Ramirez gathered us pre-game in the visitor's locker. His eyes scanning faces like a general at dawn. "Tonight ain't about points or boards. It's redemption. Play for the brother next to you." All of him. Nods rippled, Jamal's included, though his jaw clenched tight. I laced up, Theo's note tucked in my sock. "Your heart's the MVP. Win or lose, I'm yours." It grounded me, a talisman against the roar. Tip-off sword, King's big snaring it like fate's cruel jest. Their press hit immediate, traps closing, outlets lightning. I called the first set, no look to Nate for a dunk that shook the glass, crowd gasping. Energy surged, but Jamal's play was jagged. Overhelping on my man. leaving shooters open. A 3 splashed, deficit climbing to 7. Timeout at the under 8, coaches board frantic. Trust the system. Jax. Dictate. Jamal. Stay home. Eyes met across the huddle, his flicking away, mine steady. We got this, I said, voice cutting the tension. A murmur of agreement, and back we went. The tide teased us, my pull-up jumper nodding it at 5-all. The arena electric. But King countered brutal. A crossover that left me stumbling, their point dropping a floater and drawing the N1. Down 3, Jamal subbed in aggressive, stealing my pass but bricking the layup. Frustration boiled. He barked at me on the next dead. Call better screens. I snapped back. Execute yours first. The ref's whistle cut it short, technical on us both. Bench exile stung, watching our lead evaporate to 9. Theo caught my eye from the manager's bench. Thumbs up unwavering. Mom. 3 rows back. Mouth breathe. Halftime buzzer. Trailing 42-33. The air thick with doubt. Orange slices and water. Coach's voice low thunder. Y'all fracturing like cheap glass. Remember why we lace up. He turned to Jamal and me. Fix it. Or we fold. In the shadows, Jamal muttered, Sorry, man. Old habits. I nodded. Fist bump tentative. Play for us. Not them. Second half ignited, me orchestrating. Jamal locking down wings with renewed fire. A steal sequence, his strip, my outlet, Nate's slam. Momentum swung, our bench a volcano. With 8 left, tied at 55, the climax crested. Isolation for me, Kings deswarming, but I spun baseline, fading over double, the jumper hanging eternal before kissing iron. Swish. Led 2. Their run answered, but Jamal answered back. Block at the rim, thunderous, crowd on feet. Under 3, down 1, possession hours. The play broke, no screen, Jamal flashing weak side for the dump-off. I saw it late, but threaded, no, Jamal elevated, tomahawking through contact, the foul whistle piercing. And 1. The gym quaked as he sank it, nodding at 68. Timeout, hearts hammering. Coach's draw. Simple pick for my 3. Screen from Nate, Jamal boxing out, clean look, but at rim's front, King's rebound leading to free throws. Up 1, 15 ticks. Foul on Nate, intentional, stopping the clock. Their star at the line, brick, clang, our ball. Inbound to me, clock bleeding. Drive, help comes, kick to Jamal wide open. He hesitates, fractional, fatal, the shot clanks off the heel. Rebound battle. Bodies flying, my hand tipping it free. But King's guard scoops and calls timeout with 0.2 left. Final possession theirs. The heave from half-court arcs like a prayer, my leap, instinct. Tipping it away at the buzzer. No good. Final. 69-68. Us. Pandemonium. Teammates piling. Coach weeping unashamed. Jamal's hug crushed my ribs. But his "we did it" was genuine, walls crumbling. Scouts swarmed post-game. Cards like confetti. Kid, that vision? Elite. But sweeter. The locker room chant. Jax. Jamal. Brothers. Ceiling fractures. Euphoria crested into dawn. But reality nipped heels. City finals loomed, but so did fallout. News vans outside school next day. The photo story breaking local. Lincoln Star comes out amid team drama. Interviews beckoned, but I dodged. Holing with Theo at the pier. Skyline glittering accomplice. Heroes, he teased, lacing fingers. Scared. I admitted. Terrified. But free. Mom fielded calls. Her PR spin turning poison to profile. My son's brave. That's the real win. She hugged me fierce that night, over leftover victory pizza. Proud doesn't cover it. Jamal's olive branch came hesitant. A text. Coffee? Clear air. Diner neutral ground. His bruise fading like grudges. Dad's rethinking sermons, he said, stirring black. You're solid. Helped me see that. No fairy tale bond, but respect rooted court deep. Team gelled tighter, practices laced with laughs. No slurs. Theo stepped up too, quitting manager gig for assistant coach dreams. Our dates open now. Movies, walks, his hand in mine under street lamps. But Chicago's underbelly stirred. Anonymous emails to coach, drop the queer, save the season, and a parent's petition circulating. Pressure mounted. Scouts whispering distractions. Finals eve, doubt gnawed. Against powerhouse Lane Tech, undefeated, our Cinderella run teetering. Mom's pep talk over steak. Rare for us, hit home. Earl said show up, you always have. Theo's gift. A chain with Granddad's initial, cool against my chest. For luck. For love. Finals night, United Center proper, sold out, lights Hollywood. Pre-game, huddle electric. Jamal's 4 jacks rippling shockwaves. Tipped to us and it flowed. My assists feeding feasts Jamal's DA wall. Lane pressed, but we countered fluid. Lead ballooning to 12 at half. Second frame tested. Their run to 3, Jamal fouling out on a reach-in, bench gutted. Me solo, vision strained. But Theo's voice from sidelines, see the floor. Unlocked it. Pull up, step back. Floater unstoppable. Clock wound down, lead 5, free throws ceiling. Buzzer. Confetti storm, state birth punched. Championship dreams danced. But the real victory? Acceptance's quiet roar. Post-game, media scrum. How's it feel, coming out and conquering? I gripped the mic, voice steady. Like Granddad said, game levels us. Love does too. Cheers drowned the rest. Yet, in the glow, betrayal's echo lingered. Not Jamal's, but deeper. A teammate's leak traced to a benchwarmer's jealousy, exposed in tears and apology. Forgiveness flowed, humanistic tide. Mom beamed from stands. Theo's kiss salt-laced victory. The boy who'd fled loss found family anew. Not blood, but chosen, court-forged. State finals and champagne blurred triumph into trial. The Assembly Hall, a coliseum of 16,000 souls hungry for glory. Lincoln High, city champs, underdogs no more. Pitted against Peoria's powerhouse. A squad built on legacy and length. Bus ride south hummed with hype. Playlists blasting. Jamal leading Sweet Caroline off-key. Nate passing contraband Skittles. I leaned on Theo's shoulder, his curls tickling my cheek. The chain around my neck a steady pulse. This it, he murmured. The peak. I squeezed his hand. Ribs a dull ache now, heart full. Mom trailed in her rental, texting emojis I'd mock but cherish. Proud parent mode unlocked. Arrival hit like culture shock. Cornfields framing the arena. Midwest earnestness clashing Chicago grit. Hotel check-in. Team dinner. Stakes bleeding. Coach's toast slurring sentimental. From fractures to family, boys. This ring's ours. Eyes misty, Jamal clinking glasses with me first. Night fell restless. I slipped out to the balcony. Stars pricking the ink sky like distant rims. Theo joined, arms circling from behind. Nervous. Nah. Ready. Our kiss lingered, soft benediction, no rush, just rightness. Back in Baton Rouge, I'd hidden this, here it breathed free. Game day dawned crisp, March Madness literal. Warm-ups. Peoria's giants looming, their point a blur of handles. I matched, sinking fades, but their coach's glare promised war. National anthem swelled. Then tip, ours, Nate palming it soft. Early barrage. My dish for Jamal's corner 3, swish. Led 4. But Peoria answered, post feeds to their 7-footer, hooks kissing glass. Tied at 12, their press suffocating, turnovers piling like fouls. Timeout. Coach raging. Pace. Jacks. Carve it. I nodded, sweat beading, vision clearing to the floor's poetry. Halftime down 6, the mood teetered. Locker pep. Stories swapped. Jamal's dad in the stands, first time post-reckoning. Nate's little bro watching on stream. For them, I echoed Granddad and it ignited. Third quarter explosion. Steel chain, me to wing, fast break dunk. Crowd split, our pocket deafening. Lead flipped to 8, Peoria calling glass. Their run clawed back, but resilience held. Jamal's strip, my pull-up tying at 52. Fourth, chess match. Clock tyrant. Under 6, down 2, isolation me again. Drive, kick, Nate bricks, offensive board to Jamal, put back good. Led 1. Chaos reigned. Peoria's 3 rims are counterblocked. Their ball, 30 seconds, score tied. Screen curls, shot clock winding, Jamal contests, ball deflected my way. Clock at 8. I pump faked, Eurostep baseline, fading contested jumper. Bricks, rebound war. Bodies colliding, my tip to no one, Peoria scoops for the N1. A 3-10 ticks. Final timeout. Coaches heave play. Inbound to me, clock stopped on the foul through. Free throws. First swishes, second rims, Nate tips out to me. Advance, heave from logo, arc eternal, iron clang. No good. Buzzer wails. 78-76, them. Defeat crashed like a botched alley-oop. The floor buckling under cheers not ours. Teammates slumped. Coaches proud hollow echo. I sat, head in towel, tears hot. Not for the ring, but the near miss, the what-ifs. Jamal punched a bench, then hugged me raw. We fought, man. That's legacy. Scouts lingered. Offers verbal. Character counts. Kid. Illinois wants you. But the sting lingered. Arena emptying like a confessional post-prayer. The ride home was catharsis. Postmortems laced with laughs. Bonds ironclad. Mom met us at a diner off I-57. Her hug dissolving my stoicism. You shone, Jax. They all saw. Theo drove separate. Our detour to a roadside park. Stars witnesses to debrief kisses. Defeat's bitterness sweetened by us. Second place, he teased. Still gold. Back in Chicago, the city embraced. Parade down Michigan Avenue. Confetti for runners-up. Media fading our unity story. Coming out panels beckoned. My voice steady on podcasts. Sports taught me vulnerability's strength. Jamal's dad shook my hand at a banquet. Gruff, well played. Mom and I rebuilt slow. Southern cooking lessons, her stories of leaving to chase dreams. Regrets aired like laundry. I was scared too, she admitted. But you? Braver than me. Spring bloomed, college letters stacking. Full ride to Northwestern, game preserved. Theo and I navigated long-distance prep, summer leagues, his art school apps. Betrayal scar faded, a tattoo of growth. One June Eve, driveway court visit via video. Granddad Spalding spinning, me sinking fades for ghosts. We did good, Earl. Pearl. Wind rustled, approval in the leaves. Years later, pro tryouts looming. I look back. Raised on supports court, transplanted to trials, competing at 17 for Identity's trophy. The game gave me everything. Loss sharpening wins, brothers from foes, love from shadows. Human arc. Not flawless, but full. And in every swish, their echoes, show up, sun. Shine true. Epilogue whispers. Wedding under Baton Rouge oaks. Mom toasting, Jamal best man. Theo's vows a crossover to forever. The rim clangs eternal. Life's grand game. Leveled by heart.